Hello, Big Tube. Hello, friends. Welcome to LizziefayeLovesBooks. I'm Elizabeth, and I'd like to do a little mid-month reading update just to tell you how my reading goals are going. When I did my TBR, or I guess I did 2 TBRs for the month, mainly my print reading TBR, I showed a chart where I had mapped out my reading and number of pages down to the minutia of how many pages in several different books I wanted to read and all of that. So I just wanted to report back that so far it is going fantastic. I am really happy with my reading progress for the month so far, and I am still on track to finish all of the books that I mapped out, that I wanted to finish by the end of the month, and then some, I think. So, anyway, today, right now, as I'm filming this, is Saturday the 17th. So, I just kind of want to report on my first 15 days of reading and let you know what all I have finished. So far, I have finished a total of 13 books, and 2 of those were print books. 2 of the 9 print books that I started out and I made a chart for, and I knew that I was, going to be able to, I had planned to finish those 2 sooner. One was just a really short little inspirational kind of a poetry book, and I thought I could probably get it done in a week ish. And then the other one I had planned to finish by day 15, and I did. So then the others are all audiobooks, and I am currently in the middle of 2 audiobooks right now. One I'm listening to on Katie's Hoopla account, and I'm listening to it on the computer sometimes as I work, and then the other one on my phone. So I was using Katie's Hoopla account, and she doesn't care because she rarely ever uses it. But she made the comment because we were changing her password so that, because she couldn't remember it, and I was wanting to pull it up on the computer. I have it on my old phone where, I don't have to log in. But she said something about, yeah, you're committing library fraud. And I was like, am I really? Does that count as library fraud? Maybe it does. I don't know. I mean, it's my own children, but, they're both adults now. And... sorry, I have a cat trying to climb up the window. Maybe it is. What do you think? Is that library fraud? I know other people, sometimes they will share library accounts with other people. But this is within my own county. I don't know. Maybe it is. So, because I had thought, I mean, without Katie's account this month, I wouldn't be able to watch all of the Emily of New Moon episodes because each episode is one borrow. I couldn't get all of that done and everything else that I need to read. And there have been months when I haven't used all of mine. So, I mean, it all evens out. I mean, I rarely don't use all of mine. I mostly do. But anyway, it just kind of got me thinking, because I don't want to do anything that would be questionable or that would be wrong. I do check out books on my kids' accounts sometimes, but yet I don't have to because we have a 0 limit in our county, at least at my local library. So it really doesn't matter. I just do it because it's just easier to manage than trying to have a million things on my account. Anyway, if you think that's library fraud, let me know, because I don't want to do it if it is. But my other thought is that I was thinking of maybe opening up a Hoopla account for Emily, and if I do that and check out anything on her account, it will be things that she can watch, and I'll just watch them with her. And there you go. So that I know is fine. Anyway, okay, so let me go through what I finished so far, and I'll save the stuff for the More Montgomery Challenge until the end. Oh. Okay, so I'm going to go through the audiobooks first. I'm not going to really talk about them because I'm in kind of a hurry today, but at the end of the month, when I do a wrap-up, I'll tell you a little bit more about each one. So I had 2 books on my BookTube spin list that I listened to, Mrs. Lincoln's Rival by Jennifer Shiverini, and then one that didn't get chosen, but I'm just going to kind of start working my way down through the list of audiobooks that are on my BookTube spin list and try to get through as many of them as I can by the end of the year. I listened to Best State Ever by Dave Barry. This was pretty funny. I mean, it's outlandish. It's tongue-in-cheek, but there's some truth to it, too. It was comical. Okay, this met a prompt for a couple of different things. talk of the town on the series September list. It had kind of been on my radar. Allie Smith's Autumn, and this is the first in a series. I don't know. I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is, really. In my Goodreads review, I just wrote, what? With like 3 question marks. I didn't get it. This highbrow, award-winning, award-nominated stuff is beyond me. Okay, then I did listen to some mysteries. I listened to book 3 in the Mrs. Polifax series. I don't have a physical copy of it yet. I will get it from the library before I do my end of the month wrap up. But it's the elusive Mrs. Polifax. Really, really enjoyed it. And I listened to 3 books in the Allie Reynolds series by J.A. Jantz. The first one is on Hoopla, and then I think the rest of that series is not on Hoopla anymore. I think it used to be. But I did pick up the next 2 on Scribd. And then I was enjoying them so much, but I had to cut myself off before Scribd cut me off because I'm trying to juggle quite a few audiobooks this month. And I have some other things that I want to read on Scribd because I'm going to run out of borrows on my Hoopla account. So I thought, okay, I'm going to stop here while I can. Anyway, I enjoyed these so much. J.A. Jantz is really one of my favorite crime writers, if not my favorite. She is just really, really great. And the first one, I believe, Edge of Evil. Is this the first one? I think it is. It met a couple of prompts. It's got orange on the cover. It's a mystery thriller. It started a series, so I can use it for a couple of different of the reading challenges for the month. And then I went right on into, I think this is book 2, Web of Evil, and then book 3, Hand of Evil. The next one is called Cruel Intent. If Scribd doesn't cut me completely off before the end of the month, I've got it checked out in physical form, and I would love to listen to it before the end of the month as well. And I may just blow on through that series this year because I love it. It's really great. It's about a woman. In the first book, she is being fired for kind of aging out of being a newscaster. She's being put aside because the upper management feel like she is getting a little older. You know, of course, the older men are fine in their jobs, but the older women get pushed aside. And around that same time, her husband is kind of putting her aside for a younger woman. And so a lot of changes going on. And she finds herself in the middle of various crimes. So if those weren't crimes enough, you know, as far as that goes. So anyway, I'm really, really enjoying them. I did also read or listen to 2 more in the Enola Holmes series. Now, there is a book 8 that has just come out about a week ago, and my library doesn't have it yet. But there is a novella that is 6.5 called Enola Holmes and the Boy in Buttons, I believe is the name of it. I'll show you a picture here. It's just a little short 30-minute audiobook. I listened to that. Probably that was the first thing I listened to this month. And then I also picked up book 7, Enola Holmes and the Black Barouche. I completely mispronounced Barouche when I did my TBR, and I was nowhere close to how it's actually supposed to be said. I should have just looked it up on Google before I ever did that video. Anyway, I got this on audio from the library on CD. It was 4 CDs. It's not that long of a book, and I mean, it's large print, thankfully. It was great. I loved it. But the very last disc would not work. And it was a new set of CDs. I feel like I'm probably the only one who checked them out. But it would not work. So I had to turn those in and get the physical book, which I didn't have at that point. I got it and then read the last 25%. But it was a very quick read. I was able to finish it up in a couple of days. I, figured it in with all of my other print reading. It was maybe a total of, I don't know, 60 to 70 pages. Or actually, was it even that much? It might not have even been that much. It might have been like 40 pages, 45, something. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I managed to get it read, and it was great. I loved it. The Enola Holmes series, I think, is fantastic. That may be all of the audiobooks except for the stuff for the Montgomery Challenge, which I am going to tell you about in a second. I am in the middle of One-Eyed Cat by Paula Fox. This is the one I'm listening to on Hoopla on the computer while I'm working. And, yeah, I think that is everything That's almost everything. Okay, so the 2 print books that I have finished, the little inspirational poetry book, it was like poetry and quotes and things. I Will Lift Up Mine Eyes, and this is a little Hallmark book from a few decades ago. It was fine. I didn't love everything in it, but it was nice. The other one I finished is called Just As I Am, The Life of David Ring, as told to Layla Gilbert. This is the story of David Ring, who is an evangelist with cerebral palsy. He is he's still living, still preaching, as far as I know. I did find some videos on YouTube of him speaking, and I would highly encourage all of you to look him up on YouTube and just listen to his message of courage and faith. His life story is incredible. I did see some kind of scathing reviews of the book. People didn't like the writing style of the biographer, and I wasn't really thinking about that. I didn't really worry about it. I just enjoyed reading his story. I've met him before. I've heard him speak in person when I was a youth, and he's just got an incredible story. So, you know, never mind the writing style. He's just got a fascinating life, and I really enjoyed the book, and I would encourage you to look him up on YouTube and hear his story as told by him in person. He's just an amazing human being. Okay, so what I've been reading for the More Montgomery Challenge, at the very beginning of the month, I listened to The Blue Castle. I had read it before, probably in print. I have read most of the Lucy Maud Montgomery books in print before I ever really kind of knew about audiobooks. I think later I came back and I've listened to 1 or 2 Anne books on audio, and I think I'm going to re-listen to all of those at some point this fall. But I listened to The Blue Castle again, and I was reminded of how fantastic it is. And I'm currently in the middle of the Emily of New Moon trilogy. I have already listened to Emily of New Moon, and it's fantastic. And I'm in the middle of Emily's Quest. No, I'm not. I'm in the middle of Emily's Climb, which is book 2. And then I will go right on into the 3rd book, which is Emily's Quest. So the other thing regarding Emily of New Moon that I have done is I started season 2 over and have listened to the complete season 2 on Hoopla and loved it. It was great. I had listened to season 1, I had watched season 1 a year or 2 ago and thoroughly enjoyed it. So I plan to go ahead and watch season 3 next month and season 4 the month after that, so that I will finish it by the end of the More Montgomery Challenge. And it was great. Now, I couldn't remember exactly how well it compared with the books, and I would say that the series is a little darker than the book trilogy. I don't get the same feel with the books as I do in the show. Now, they do mention that she is kind of elfish and has a little bit of second sight, but in the TV adaptation, that is really brought out. There is some visions and kind of ghostly spiritual things that occur in that. It does happen some in the book, but I didn't get as much of a feel for it in the books as I have in the show. I think the storyline has followed fairly closely. Of course, with the show, they take artistic license and bring out things that, you know, didn't happen in the books. They, you know, like Little House on the Prairie, you know, it's based in, you know, it's based on the books, but then they take the show and, you know, make it more. Anyway, both are very enjoyable. So then, coming up, though, for the second half of the month, I want to rewatch season 1 of Road to Avonlea. I'm pretty sure I've seen all of these episodes, but it's been a long time since I have watched the last several. I have owned this DVD set for a long time, and I keep restarting it. So this month I'm determined I'm going to start over. Well, I may not even watch the first 2 or 3 because I pretty much know them. Either way, I want to get through to the end of season 1. I also own season 2 and season 3, so I'd like to at least watch all of those during the 3 months of the challenge. So I have quite a few Lucy Maud Montgomery, Anne of Green Gables type, you know, related stories and books and things checked out from the library. I've been doing some research on adaptations, and I hope to bring you several more videos over the next few weeks in regards to that. But one of my wonderful, amazing subscribers, Debbie Faust, has sent me a beautiful gift, and I want to show it to you. I will be showing it to you more, and I will be reading it during the challenge. This is Marilla of Green Gables, and it's by Sarah McCoy, who also wrote Caroline, which I've read, and I'm so thankful. Debbie, thank you so much. This is beautiful. Thank you very, very much. And that was so kind of you to send that to me. So anyway, in regards to my currently reading things, it's going great. I am on track to finish just about everything. I have about 200 pages left in Pillars of the Earth. It's going great. I'm not sure how many pages I have left in Pioneer Girl, but I've been averaging like 3 to 4 pages a day on that. And I also had another book that got thrown into the mix because I was graciously invited to join in Kate Howe's live stream, which was last night. As I'm filming today on Saturday, it was last night, Friday, and the Follow Us to Fairacre read along was reading Storm in the Village this month. So I decided about a week ago that I ought to reread it, and I got to within about 60 pages of the end, and then quickly skimmed those last 60 pages, and I'm gonna go ahead and finish reading them. In fact, today I've already read about 25 of the 60, so I've got about 35 pages left, and I will go ahead and finish a thorough reread of Storm in the Village. And then I feel like there was something else I added at the last minute. Oh, it was just the rest of the Enola Holmes book. So then all the other things that I'm currently reading, they're just going well. For my devotions, each morning I've been reading 3 pages in 199 Promises of God, which are basically scriptures, a variety of scriptures found throughout the Bible. I've been reading a few pages a day in How to Give Away Your Faith by Paul E. Little, and Dare to Discipline by James Dobson. I've been reading about 3 pages a day in that, just trying to get through it. And The Pinderwicks at Last, I've been reading about a chapter a day. And I feel like there's something else. Oh, yeah. And then Shades of Earl Grey by Laura Childs. I've been reading, trying to read a page or a chapter a day in that. Now, there have been days when I have not read some of every book. There was one day when all I got read was my 3 pages in here, and it was 0 and everything else. But the thing about my chart that I love is that, this is a mess, but I'm going to show it to you, is that I am writing every day how many pages I read in each book. And that way I can look back and I see, oh yeah, okay, yesterday I didn't read anything in that book. That means I need to try to read a couple extra pages today or over the next couple of days to try to catch up. And it has been working great. I am just very goal-oriented. So now something like this would drive other people crazy. But for me, who's very goal-oriented, this works really well for me. And I'm just excited because I like seeing the chapters get checked off and all of that. So that's been going great. Anyway, I've got to run some errands and get some other work done. So I'm going to close off this video here. I will be coming back very soon with a middle grade related video. And then quite a few videos coming up regarding Lucy Maud Montgomery and all of the different prompts for the #MoreMontgomery challenge. So if you have not been over to check out Mitzi's channel, Mitzi Reads and Writes, she's my co-host for the More Montgomery challenge. Be sure you check out her channel and subscribe. And also, if you missed the live stream discussion last night on Kate Howe's channel of Storm in the Village, then be sure and check that out as well. That was a lot of fun. It was also Rainey from Rainy Day Reads and Chelsea from Voyage of a Time Wanderer there on the live stream as well. And I want you to go and check out all of their channels. So that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a great day. Read a good book, and God bless you.